To understand the meaning of the Greek pantheon and Greek mythology as a whole, we must first accept two things. The gods do not think like humans, and they do not possess human physiology. They are more like programs functions, with a specific technical task, building reality. Humanity simply called these functions gods. Well then, let's call them so. The gods act within the universe and obey its strict laws. Yet they all share one common mission: the creation of a perfect, self-sufficient consciousness, one that can develop, regulate, and not destroy the system already built. The Greek gods were building their own reality and filling the primordial essence, life, as the main task of the pantheon. All mythological stories are encrypted. They are not simple to understand for an ordinary person. To decode Greek mythology, we must study the genealogies of the gods. Their origins reveal the deep meaning of the functions each deity would later perform. P.S. All meanings and conclusions in this video are an analysis and compilation based on literature about ancient Greek mythology, history, and philosophy. Why should we even try to understand these meanings? Because by studying myths and uncovering the algorithms of the gods, we can see why the fate of nations or individuals shapes itself in certain ways, and how their relationships lead to specific results. So, let us remember. In the beginning, there was no throne, no crown, only the matriarchy of Gaia, the wild, untamed force of the earth itself. And from her embrace with Uranus, the sky above, came the first gods, the Titans. They were not kings or queens. They were functions, programs of the universe. Self-sufficient, unstoppable, shaping reality itself. Oceanus, master of endless waters. Coeus, keeper of intellect and the axis of the world. Creus, lord of time's hidden measures. Hyperion, bringer of light. Iapetus, god of life and death, father of mankind. And Cronus, time itself, devouring and relentless. But they were not alone. Their sisters walked beside them, the Titanides. Tethys, the flow of fresh waters. Phoebe, the glow of the moon and the shadows of prophecy. Mnemosyne, the vault of all memory. Theia, the eye that sees, the brightness that blinds. Themis, law, order, balance. And Rhea, the mother of gods, the pulse of natural selection. These forces could not be destroyed, as eternal as the elements themselves. And yet, from them came others, the next wave: Helios, Leto, Astraeus, Prometheus, Epimetheus, Atlas, Metis, and more, always more. Because the story of gods never ends, it only transforms. And then came the fall of the sky. Cronus rose against his father, Uranus, and struck. Castration, blood, silence. But Uranus did not leave quietly. He cursed his son. He swore that one day a child of Cronus would rise and destroy him. Cronus, terrified of fate, chose fear over love. He devoured his children, one by one, swallowed whole into darkness. All except one. For Rhea, their mother, hid the infant Zeus on the island of Crete, small, hidden, but destined. And so prophecy moved forward. the curse of the sky, the will of the earth. Zeus grew, and with the aid of the Titans, the Hecatoncheires, the Cyclopes, and his brothers, he rose in rebellion. Cronus fell. The old gods who would not bow were cast into Tartarus, not slain, not ended, simply deactivated. And from that moment on, Zeus took upon himself the burden, the right, the responsibility to build reality under his own rules. But there was a problem, a terrible imbalance. For countless of the first gods were chained in Tartarus, and the world was left without its functions of growth and harmony. Zeus had no choice. He had to build a new order, a new team of gods to govern reality, to replace the Titans. And so, the team was formed. But, listen carefully. Hestia, Demeter, Hera were not invited. The space was divided by men. Patriarchy was born, and the feminine powers of creation were cast aside. From that moment, Zeus's bond with Gaia and with Rhea grew strained. Poseidon claimed dominion over all waters, chaos, and the secrets of the future. Zeus stood as the foundation, stone law, the unshakable mind. Hades took the realm of mystery and terror, guarding the eternity of Tartarus and Erebus. In every pantheon, the gates of the underworld remained closed to the uninitiated. By the laws of the universe, this space was forbidden and fiercely guarded. 3 gods, 3 brothers, and 1 pact, never to interfere in one another's domain. But Zeus was not finished. He needed more functions, more power. And so, he turned to the goddesses, those who carried in their blood the memory of the ancient Titans, women with power written into their very DNA. From them, he would forge new gods, new programs, new functions for his reality. Zeus remembered the prophecy. If his first child were a son, that son would destroy him. But he also knew the same prophecy whispered that his wife would bear 2 sons and a daughter. Zeus was cunning, and his first child would not be born in any ordinary way. Remember, these are not humans. The gods are programs of the universe. They interact differently. His first wife was Metis, the goddess of wisdom, and Zeus swallowed her whole. Perhaps recalling his father Cronus, who swallowed his own children. And from the head of Zeus, Athena was born, not born of flesh, but created by the mind. Athena, his first child, forever at his side. Part of him, she is the relentless goddess of law. She knows exactly what must be done and when. The second marriage of Zeus was with Themis, the goddess of order. The mind of Zeus and the cosmic order of Themis together gave birth to Eunomia, the goddess of prudence and measured necessity, the muse of Orphic philosophers. And from their union also came the Horai, the goddesses of the cycles of the seasons. The third wife of Zeus was Eurynome, daughter of Oceanus and Tethys. Eurynome was not just a goddess, she was a program of the universe, the force that opens the space of possibilities. And from their union came the Charities, 3 radiant goddesses: Aglaea, Thalia, Euphrosyne. They symbolized the choice of three paths, three options, to achieve the best result. The fourth wife of Zeus was Demeter, daughter of Cronus and Rhea. Demeter, the goddess of fertility, the bearer of the finest fruits in time. Cronus, time itself. Rhea, natural selection. And Zeus, the universal mind. Together they produced the perfect result, the ideal genetic outcome within time. Her name was Persephone, but listen carefully. She was a girl, not a boy. And in the logic of patriarchy, a woman could never be the best result. Zeus wanted a son, and so he continued to create. The fifth wife of Zeus was Mnemosyne, the goddess of memory, the living archive of the world. From their union were born the Muses, sources of inspiration, guardians of memory's hidden clusters. They are the wells of creativity, the eternal spark of art and imagination. The sixth wife of Zeus was Leto, daughter of the Titan Coeus, master of the world Axis, and Phoebe, mistress of prophecy. Leto, also called Latona, was more than a goddess. She was the image of the system itself, the architecture of reality. And from her union with Zeus came the twins, Artemis and Apollo. Their birth was painful, resisted, for Hera herself tried to prevent them from entering the world. They came into life too early, fragile, incomplete. And yet, they embodied stability, the perfect order the system required. Together, Artemis and Apollo are inseparable, always side by side, always protecting one another. They are the beloved children of Zeus. The seventh wife of Zeus was Hera, daughter of Cronus and Rhea. Hera was the force of natural selection, Rhea's will unfolding in the time of Cronus. She was the goddess of marriage, and marriage was more than love. It was a contract, a result fixed in law. Hera became the symbol of approval, of legalization, family, union, a small cell of order in space and time. For in the system of reality, that which is created within marriage is lawful. That which is created outside of it is not. From Zeus and Hera came three gods: Ares, the unloved sun, a brawler, arrogant, the god of war without rules; Aletheia, the goddess of birth; Hebe, the goddess of youth. Together these three embody the cycle of every idea. First it must be born. Then it must endure trials, conflict without rules. And finally, it must remain young, new, and radiant, to be accepted by all. All these wives and all these children were the foundation of reality under the rule of Zeus. And yet, it was not enough. Zeus continued to create. From Maya he fathered Hermes. From the mortal Semele he brought forth Dionysus. And from the princess Alcmene came the hero Heracles. Zeus sought, again and again, to forge the perfect program, the ultimate system to govern reality. But he could never see the outcome. He was bound by prophecies, by curses, echoes of his own act, the day he chained the primal forces of the Titans. We shall continue our search and our decoding of the myths. And to you, thank you Thank you for your attention and for the time you spent watching and reflecting. If you wish to support this project, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to follow the next investigations of crazy mythology. And may it all work out for us.